Am I the butthole for breaking up with my BF after he embarrassed me on Christmas? I, 27F, am 7 months pregnant with my ex-boyfriend's, 28M, baby, and I am hugely insecure about my weight after I started to gain some weight because of my pregnancy. Most women gain at least some weight when they are carrying a baby. But my boyfriend said that that's no excuse. I told him that I'm going to lose the weight after the baby comes and questioned why he's so concerned. He said that he just wants the baby to be healthy and is concerned that my health will also be at risk. I love him so much and we've been through a lot after 5 years of being together. Lately he has been making rude remarks about my weight and says that he is way more in shape than me. This is strange behavior because he used to be pretty chubby when we first started dating. He had always complimented my figure and we went to the gym together every other day. He has started to sleep on the couch and refuses to sleep in the bed with me. He says it's because he wants the baby and me to sleep healthy. I don't know how that's supposed to help. And I'm starting to think it's because of my weight gain and the baby's health is just an excuse. He made sure I didn't eat too much on Thanksgiving, saying I had already rated enough for the baby and me. I was still very hungry but I agreed because the whole family started to stare. I confronted him later that night saying how I was still hungry and he made me feel uncomfortable and that I was embarrassed. He retaliated by saying that he didn't want me to look even more fat and look like a pig in front of his family. I was taken back but I brushed it off. At Christmas Eve, we had dinner at my parents' house and some family came over. I politely asked him to not make any comments on my eating or my weight that night at dinner. He eventually agreed and stated that I shouldn't have dessert if I'm going to be eating so much dinner. I told him that I need to eat enough for the baby and myself to be healthy but I could stay away from the dessert. I had only gained 1 or 2 pounds from the baby but to him it was a lot more apparently. I ate until I was full and we had a nice dinner. I asked if he could not comment on me again on Christmas dinner and he signed and agreed. On Christmas dinner he kept giving me hints to slow down on eating even though I had only gotten a small portion of food. I was finally fed up with it and pulled him aside from the family and told him I would watch my eating myself and that he should just enjoy dinner and not have to worry about me. When it got to dessert I had a very small slice of the chocolate cake that my grandmother made especially for me because it had been my favorite as a kid. My boyfriend was so fed up with me and lashed out. "Are you eating for everyone here?" he said abruptly. Everyone sat staring in shock. I stood up and smashed the rest of my slice of cake into his face and said, "I can eat as much as I want so stop commenting on my weight. The baby will be fine." I was fuming with rage and told him that I wanted either him or me to go home because it was too embarrassing to carry on with the dinner. When we got home, he was raging with anger. He slammed the door shut and yelled at me for embarrassing him in front of my family and his. I was shocked and said that we were over. Because I owned the house. I told him to pack his things and leave before I called the police. He then lashed out at me saying that it was also his baby that I was carrying and I'm making a traumatic life for the baby having to have split parents. I told him he wouldn't have to see the baby at all and I would prefer him to not live with the baby at all. He swung to slap me but I dodged and pushed him away. I yelled at him to leave and bring his stuff with him. He swung his leg at my belly and I grabbed his leg and threw him to the ground. I called his mom and she came over as soon as possible. She was very understanding and made him get his own apartment. I haven't texted or talked to him ever since and some family members have found out and that I'm keeping the baby away from him. Some of our family members are texting me threats to get back together with him or saying that I'm cruel for what I said and did. Am I the butthole? Edit. This story is completely fake as you may have picked up on by the poor writing. This is a made-up story, don't be worried. Loudly crying face me and my friend were having fun writing stories.